Welcome, this is Ms. Gergen. We are working question by question through the 2014 released Algebra 1 SOL, and we are on question number 17. Question number 17, we see a TEI, a technology enhanced item. When we see these, there's extra directions given in the gray box at the top. These directions say type an inequality in the box, use the less than or greater than for the inequality sign. The question itself asks us to solve for x. So at this point, this is just a short answer question that shouldn't really require any extra effort from us. All right, so I want to make sure that I'm solving this for x. So let's write our problem out. And I always ask my students to separate the sides of the equation or inequality. Now at this point, we've got x's on both sides of our inequality symbol. So I always tell my students to move the smaller amount. So in this case, I have a negative 2x on the left, which is technically smaller than a positive x. So I would tell them to add 2x to both sides. This takes care of them having to remember that if you multiply or divide by a negative, that you must flip the inequality symbol. When they do it this way, they don't have to remember that rule, and it can't trip them up. Now, I still have certain students who prefer to always solve to one side or to the left side of the equation, but this is what I usually teach them when we introduce the subject. So I end up with 3x minus 6 on that side of the inequality. I'm solving for x, so I have the students cover up the variable that they're solving for and use inverse operations on whatever's outside of their hand. So we end up with 12 is less than 3x. 3 and x are being multiplied, so the inverse of that would be division. Divide by 3 on both sides, and I end up with 4 is less than x. Now, I do tell the students that if you end up with an x on the right side, you want to make sure that you write it the other way. So we can flip the x and the 4, but you also have to flip the inequality symbol. You don't want to change anything. This inequality symbol is opening to the x, so when I redraw it, I want to make sure it's still opening to the x. That right there takes care of any issue with having to remember to flip the inequality. I hope that helps. Thank you very much.